Welcome to Success Nation. I'm your host, Gary Ernest. Today I'm going to talk to you about depression. Depression and entrepreneurs, especially. And sometimes we as entrepreneurs, our mind is working at thousands of miles per second. Our thoughts start going from places to places. Sometimes we even forget to take care of ourselves. And then we don't realize that sometimes the business we choose to be in could cause a lot of depression in our lives. And we sit back sometimes because of the stigma that is associated with depression. We sometimes try to be the tough guy or the tough woman. We don't think about the things that can happen while we are pursuing our endeavor, while we are pursuing our ambition, while we're pursuing our goals. We don't think about how that could affect and impact our lives. And those sometimes we've heard about depression, we've heard about mental health problems, but we don't think that it could happen to us. We as entrepreneurs, we feel like we are superhumans. We feel like we have superpower to create. We have the power to just create things. That's what we feel like. We feel like how we want to change the world through our creation. We want to change the world through the things we do by neglecting our mindset. We neglecting our well-being. And as a result of neglecting our well-beings, we tend to fall in depression without knowing that we are depressed. And today I'm going to talk to you about a few signs that tells you that you are in a depressive state. And in those, even though I'm going to talk to you about those states, I'm not talking from a medical perspective. I don't have any medical background, but I have experienced those symptoms. I have experienced those situations. Therefore, I'm going to share them with you and things you should avoid. Even though you're pursuing your career, you're pursuing your goal, you're pursuing as your aspiration, you should pay attention to your health. You should pay attention to yourself. You should pay attention to your mind. You should pay attention to your environment. If you cannot take care of your mind, your dreams, your aspiration will not live long. If you cannot protect the people around you, your aspiration, your goals will not be achieved the way you want them to. So therefore, I'm going to talk to you about entrepreneurs and mental health problem. That is where I'm coming from. As an entrepreneur myself, I know how it feels. Sometimes you cannot sleep because your ideas, so it's like a volcano inside your mind. It keeps moving and moving. You do not sleep, and sometimes you don't sleep for days. Sometimes that idea can consume you to the point you can break down. So therefore, I'm going to talk to you today about taking care of your health as an entrepreneur, taking care of your mental health, because today is Mental Health Day. So therefore, let's take care of our mental health while we are pursuing our goal to help this planet, while we are pursuing our goal to help this world, while we are pursuing our goals to make our family's life better, while we are pursuing our goals to make this planet a better place. We'll be right back. Once again, I'm your host, Gary Ernest. Welcome back to Success Nation. I'm your host, Gary Ernest. Today, I'm going to talk to you about mental health, the effect of mental health on entrepreneurs today. Because, depression can occur sometime when we're teenagers. By the time we're teenagers, sometimes we've faced a lot of depressive situations. Sometimes it's around your 30s, your 20s. But those ages are not limited. They are not the only problem. And here in America, anxiety and depression are number one cause of disability in the United States. Anxiety and depression are the number one cause of disability in this United States. Sometimes it's between people from ages 15 to 44. That's when major depression occur in our lives. But we said to ourselves, Why? And sometimes we go through depressive states we undiagnosed because we don't know what to look for. And as an entrepreneur, you're pursuing your goal. You don't think that, well, I need to take a break. I need to step away from certain things. We don't think about those things. And when based on the statistic, it says more women suffer from depression than men. And the reason why we have more women diagnosed with depression, it's not because of their gender or because, okay, that's women, or therefore they will have more reason to be depressed. No, because the women are more likely to go to the doctor than men. So therefore, we as an entrepreneur, we feel like we're superhuman. We're like, man, I don't need to go to the doctor. Well, why should I go to the doctor? But while you're pursuing your goal, while you're pursuing your aspiration, you should also take care of your health. You should also take care of your health. Because you have to understand the factors that will appear, the factors that come into your life that could cause you to see that, you know what? These are the sign of depression. And we don't pay attention to those things. Why don't we pay attention to them? We feel like, you know what? It's not for me. I don't need to pay attention. I'm not going to, this depression is not for me. That's what some of us, we say to ourselves, some entrepreneurs, we say, we are superhuman. We're like, no, this can't happen to me. Well, you know what? That's not true. It can happen to all of us. It can happen and it will happen to all of us. So before you think about it can't happen to you, you have to say to yourself, why? Because let's say you cannot sleep. And to you, you feel like, you know what? The reason I can't sleep because my ideas are flowing. Therefore, I'm losing sleep. But you're going months without sleeping. You're going months without sleeping. And then you might say to yourself, well, no, man, I got this. Well, if you're going months without sleeping, you need to go to the doctor and check with the doctor and say, you know what? I don't know what's going on. I can't sleep. So therefore, let me do something about it. Let me change. Let me fix something in my life. Let me do something about it because I can't seem to sleep. And then sometimes it's because of a major illness. Because when you get sick, that sickness kind of will cause problem in your life, problems that you cannot solve. And it'll cause you to be depressed. It'll cause you to be very depressed. And then because you have chronic condition, those chronic conditions could cause you to be depressed. And so therefore you have to go to the doctor and say, and let the doctor know this is what's going on in your life. And once again, even though you are pursuing your goal, your aspirations, your health, you would not succeed if you're not in good health. Now, sometimes, risk factors that come, you have biological problems. Sometimes it's psychological. You have psychological disorders sometimes that would cause you not to be able to function. And that's not good for you because it will affect your brain. It will affect your cognitive behavior. And you would say to yourself, you know what? I got this. But you don't. Don't say to yourself, you got it. You have to understand, even though you are pursuing your goals and your aspiration, do not let your mind and your body, your well-being be affected by it. Do not. And sometimes it's pure genetic. Sometimes it's a genetic factor that's causing people to have certain problems. Some genetic factors that cause you to have mood behaviors. And you might say to yourself, you know what, I'm not a moody person. And actually, sometimes we are. We are. Because if we don't realize what's going on in our lives, it's not going to be good. Because if you have a history of family depression, have a history of depression in your family, those factors, they're something you need to be aware of. You need to take care of that because you cannot succeed simply by not taking care of yourself. You might say, well, what am I going to do? Well, a lot of people suffer from depression because of they don't have the support factors. They don't have friends. They have few friends and relatives they can talk to. And if you don't have any friends, then try to join clubs where you can mingle with people. I know right now we have the corona situation and a lot of us are not social. We have social distancing. You know what? Find friends online. Find friends everywhere. Join a Zoom meet. Just do something where it's going to allow yourself to just loosen up. Because we sit back, we don't think about those things. And another problem is it's very critical. Let's say you have a loss in your family. I mean, a loss of a loved one. That's a major event in your life. A loss of a mother, a loss of a father, a loss of a friend, a loss of anybody you care about, you care for, you used to care for. And that right there sometime will cause you to be depressed. It'll cause you to feel like the life is over. But you had to look for help. You have to look for help. And if you are grieving, everybody's allowed to grieve. You have to grieve. Your grief, you have to express yourself. Do not hold it in and without expressing yourself and say, you know what, I'm tough, I got this. Well, it will lead you to be a sad person. You will feel like life is over. It's like, because this major situation happened in your life, it's going to cause you not to take care of yourself. And if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to lead to problem. One of the problems that depression tends to lead to is substance abuse. It leads people to drink more. It leads people to consume, whether it's prescription medications or alcohol. It causes people to do all those things that's affecting their cognitive behavior. Then it affects their behaviors in society. Then it affects the way they conduct businesses. And as a result, they become dependent on that because they feel like, you know what, this one keeps me, after the substance have worn off out of your body, now you get back to the same depressive state. Yes, of course, right now, it is a tough time for small businesses. It is a very tough time for all of us. A lot of businesses are closing. A lot of businesses are causing the mental health problem. This situation is affecting all of us across the board. It is not a one group of people thing. It is affecting everyone. But we have to talk to our doctors. We have to go to doctors and talk to the doctors and express how we feel. Yes, of course, we have medication. We have medication that can help, but we have to know we need the help. We cannot go with receiving the help that we need, but we say to ourselves, we'll be okay. And then you have to understand, some medication will increase your mental health problem. Some medication would make you more depressed than they're going to make you better. That's plain and simple. Sometimes you have to know what you're taking. You have to know. Because those factors, without understanding that, yes, of course, you have your goal and your aspiration. You have all that. But you know what? It's not good. It's not good. Let's look at the statistics. 40%. Now you ask yourself, you say to yourself, that's a lot. That's the statistic is from the National Institute of Mental Health. Those are the people with those problems, it will increase. 25% people with cancer, 27% people with drug abuse and addiction, 50% of Parkinson's disease, 50 to 75% of people with eating disorders, and people who have had a heart attack, 33%. See, those are the people with certain problems where depression risk increase with medication, with medical conditions. Those people, that's a lot. But what do we say to ourselves? You know, what I want you to understand is this. I'm not talking to you from a medical professional. I don't have a medical background. I'm a businessman. I'm majoring in criminology and criminal justice. That's my educational background. That's my education. However, I have walked that walk. I have been down there. I have been there. You know, what you have to understand is, as an entrepreneur, we do not take care of ourselves. We are so ingrained into building and creating that reality we want to create, and to bringing that project into existence, we forget to take care of ourselves. We forget to do it. And if that is you, or if it's a family member of yours, understand this. As life goes on, you have to understand you must take care of yourself. You cannot take care of anyone if you don't take care of yourself. You know, here are a few signs to watch for entrepreneurs out there while you're pursuing your business. A lot of those signs, watch for them. And then that tells you are leading to depression. Comfort eating. You just eat because it makes you feel comfortable. You wake up in the middle of the night, just eat. Comfort eating. You feel irritated all the time. You always irritated. People talking to you, you don't know what to say. You are irritated. You are irritated with your customer. You are irritated with your clients. You need to check the doctor and ask what's going on with you. And then you find that it's hard to concentrate. Now, remember, entrepreneurs, we're creators. We concentrate on our ideas. We find an idea. We nurture that idea. And if you cannot concentrate, you need to ask your doctor what's going on. Another thing, you turn to alcohol. You turn to alcohol, cigarette, or anything that can bring you a sense to manage your uncomfortability. You know, if you want to manage what's going on in your life, you find those comfort places and you're like, let me smoke a cigarette. Let me pop open a bottle. That's not going to help you. You're not going to bring that idea into fruition if you don't know how to deal with this problem. And sometimes you will find yourself a lot of excuses not to leave your house. A lot of excuses. You used to exercise. All of a sudden you feel like, man, I don't feel like getting up today, man. And before you know it, it's months down the line, you haven't getting up. You haven't done anything to help yourself grow. So you have to think. You have to say to yourself, what's going on with me? And another thing, your sleep pattern is, you used to sleep at least 6 hours, and all of a sudden you sleep 2 hours and you jump out of your bed. You can't sleep anymore. Yes, there's something you need to talk to your doctor about, because if we don't talk to our doctors, we don't talk about what's going on in our lives, we would not be able to take care of it on time. Because if we take care of the situation on time, our dreams and aspiration will rise. And once again, this is Gary Ernest. I'm talking to you regarding your health. It will take care of your dreams. It'll take care of your aspiration. But if you don't take care of your health, your dream and aspirations, you're going to send them down the drain. Remember, like and subscribe. Once again, I'm your host, Gary Ernest. Share the message.